Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name's Rachel and I am knitting. Not right now, but most of the time. And I have been knitting, so I'm going to tell you all about it. Today's video is episode 63 of my weekly podcast, which is a podcast series where I walk you through all of the things that I've been making over the course of the week prior. And today is actually a huge day for me because 63 is one of my favorite numbers. You may be thinking, Rachel, that's random. I mean, I know. I think that's part of why I like the number 63. It feels very random and very like whole and good. So anyway, I really like it, and therefore I'm hoping that this will be a great podcast episode because I love the number 63. It's almost always the number I pick when someone says pick a number between 1 and 100, which maybe I shouldn't reveal to you because maybe now that will jinx my uh, chances when I am selecting a number between 1 and 100, or it will have people use that information against me and make it so I never win those competitions. Let's enter into a social contract, you and I, and agree that you won't do that. Great, we shook on it and it's official. So anyway, let's get started. Today's episode covers my making progress from the afternoon of September 8th through the morning of today, September 17th. So today's Wednesday. Last week I filmed on a Monday and I figured it's probably most prudent to not record the next podcast episode before the previous podcast episode goes live because some of you make really good points in the comments, and I feel like let's keep the conversation going. Sometimes I may want to refer to your comments, and if I wait 2 weeks to do that, it just feels like, so what, who cares? So anyway, today's Wednesday, and we'll just see how it goes recording the podcast on Wednesday. Now this is the third week in a row where I've started with some nonsensical preamble telling you, here's the schedule. It's not like normal. It's different than the other schedules. Yay! At what point does it matter anymore? I feel like we've passed the threshold of it doesn't matter. So I digress. Let's get started. We'll start the podcast, as we always do, with project updates. And I have 4 projects to update you on. Quick point of order. I didn't work on the alchemy tea at all this week. Last week I made such a big deal that I didn't remember if I worked on it or not, and I put a stitch marker so I could mark my progress, and then I didn't pick it up once over the course of this last week because I had a few other projects really captivating me. So I will tell you what those 4 projects are. But I will also tell you that I really want to join in the round on the alchemy tea before I go to Ireland. I'm not sure if that will be the project that I bring with me to Ireland or not, but I would like that to be an option, and it would be easier for it to be an option if I'm joined in the round. So that is on my radar. The alchemy tea isn't just in purgatory and being forgotten about. I have plans, I have intentions. I just didn't get to it this last week. So let's talk about the 4 projects I did work on. The first that I'm going to show you is a finished object that I started and finished in the course of this last week, and I'm super excited about it because I get to mark off, or I already did it. I got to mark off another bingo square in my Yarn Enthusiast journal. This is a journal designed by Leslie of Knit, California, and it's all about knitting and yarn and crochet and, all those specific types of notes you may have. So the bingo square that I got to mark off was use stash yarn from Ireland. So I did that, and that gave me a diagonal bingo. So I now have 2 completed bingos. The first was this bottom line, and then now I have this diagonal one. My goal is for this to be a blackout by the end of the year, but honestly, looking at this, I don't know if that's going to happen. Like, I have design and publish a pattern on here. I'm sorry, but that's probably not going to happen because I've learned that designing is a pain in the butt for me. Some people really skilled, really successful at it. For me, it is not fun. Maybe that will change Maybe I will have a change of heart one day, but in this season of my life, it's not for me. So I don't know if I'll get to that bingo square. Crochet a garment? I don't know. Um, yeah. There are also things on here that I know I should do. I should finish before the end of the year, but I don't know if I will. For instance, make DJ a sweater. DJ, I love you so much. So much. But I don't know if I'll finish this before the end of the year. In a perfect world, I would have a sweater done for him for Christmas or for his birthday. So maybe I will, I don't know, be the best version of myself and chase that goal. We'll see. But all that to say, I'm really excited that I did get to mark off another bingo square and get a whole new completed line of bingo on my Yarn Enthusiast bingo page. So now, without further ado, let me show you what it is. Dun, da, da, da. It's a 1x1 ribbed hat. The classic ribbed hat by Pearl Soho. It's a free pattern. If you've been watching the podcast the last few episodes, you know that I have been on a rampage casting these on and churning them out. I've now made 5 in the last month and a half, I think month. Wow, that's a lot of hats. And I have no plans to stop. This is such a satisfying project and a gratifying project because it knits up very, very quickly. And for this one in particular, you may notice it's kind of small, relatively small. And that's because it is for my Christmas pile of gifts. I don't know if the person who it's for is watching this, so I won't say it out loud, but it is for someone um, who is a child. Okay, great. So that will go in my pile. And the reason I was able to cross it off on my bingo page is because it's used from yarn I purchased in Ireland. Specifically, this is yarn I purchased at Blarney Woolen Mills on my 2023 Irish knitting tour, the first ever Irish knitting tour that I hosted. And I love this yarn. It's a really, really beautiful tweedy yarn. There's all these colorful little neps. Well, they're not even really neps. It's just like the wool is carded together and it's multicolored. So gray is definitely the overwhelming color, but there's also flecks of red and green and blue and white and orange and all that stuff. So it's just super fun. I loved this yarn when I saw it, and Kathleen of LaRue Cotton also got, I think, at least one skein. She might have gotten 2. I got 2 skeins of this, and I've already cast on, I guess that's another project to update you on. Yesterday I cast on another hat with the leftover of the first skein, and then when I run out of that yarn, I'll join the second skein. So I'm thinking that 2 children in my life will enjoy matching hats with this Ireland yarn. And this is the kind of project that really just makes me feel happy because this is yarn, like I said, I've had since 2023, and it's yarn that I've wanted to work with, that I've been excited to work with, but I've just never had the motivation or like the confirmation that I was choosing the right pattern for the yarn. And even now, I'm not sure if that's true. Like this is kind of a rustic wool. It's a little scratchy, but it doesn't bother me too much. If it bothers the children I'm giving it to, you know, they don't have to wear it. We'll find something else for the hats, but I don't know. I like it a lot. I'm really happy with it. So I'll be making another one to add to the hat pile. I made the baby size. But the nice thing about ribbing is that it really can stretch. So I think that this will work for a variety of head sizes. And really it would fit on my head as well. It's just a little short for my size head. So anyway, that's the first project. So, and then another one, which I don't have with me, and I'm not going to get to show you. It's just like the first row completed of this same hat in the same yarn, just in a bigger size, because it will be for a bigger kid. So there you go. What's the second project to show you? Shoop. Shoop the African flower sheep. Um, I've got some thoughts about Shoop. I have been working on this here and there. This was like my, well, not really even here and there. I think I worked on it one time. I don't know. I really don't know. My memory's so bad. But I know at least one time that I worked on it over the course of this last week, and I worked on it in the car on the way to a family baby shower. And according to the pattern, or at least the first few pages of the pattern, I thought that I was all done making these hexagons, these six-sided flower motifs. You need a certain amount of hexagons, a certain amount of pentagons, and a certain amount of octagons. And I thought that I had done the pent pentagons. No, the hexagons. And then now I was on the pentagons, the five-sided motif, and Leslie let me know that the pattern is incorrect. Basically, I need double the amount of hexagons that the pattern says, and a few less of the pentagons. So what I need to do is I need to undo 3 of my pentagons, and then I'll have enough. And then I need to make like 13 more hexagons. So that's something that is really burning my butt up about this pattern. I find that very frustrating and very annoying. But Shoop is going to be worth it. If you're not familiar, Shoop, the African flower sheep, is a granny, not a granny, but like a crochet motif animal where you crochet a bunch of these motifs and then you sew them together in a certain way that forms the shape of an animal, in this case, a sheep. It's a design by Heidi Bear's Designs, and she has a ton of other animals as well, like dinosaurs, like teddy bears, like hippos. So just a really fun twist on crochet. The reason I'm making this is because I saw a sample of this pattern crocheted up at the Lamb and Kid, which is a local yarn store on Bainbridge Island. I fell in love with it. I got the yarn to make it at Flock. This is the Sorella Home line of yarn, which is a manufactured yarn, and it is, I believe, 20% merino. Yeah, 20%, or excuse me, 80% superwash merino and 20% cashmere style nylon, which means the nylon has been treated to be softer. So there's the update on Shoop. I was working on it, but my progress has been curtailed by frustration. Man, that's so frustrating. Imagine I had finished making all the pentagons. I would be so TO'd. Like, my TO'dness would know no bounds. But I'm only moderately TO'd because, you know, I didn't make all the pentagons that it said. So I didn't really waste that much time. I think I have 3 extra pentagons than what I actually need. So anyway, just annoying. Just very annoying. So there's an update on Shoop. Slow and steady progress on that, and really, I have to undo some of the work I did anyway. So whatever. Life goes on, but it's still gonna TO me, okay? All right. And if you don't know, TO'd means ticked off. Okay, the third project that I have to update you on is my Christmas stocking. Last week I told you all about this, and I'll tell you again. I'm making a Christmas stocking for my cousin, has a new baby coming, or the baby has arrived. The baby exists in real life. But Christmas is coming, and this is the baby's first Christmas, and the rest of the family has stockings that I made them, so finishing this one for the baby. And I'm actually very proud of this because this is from a pattern pack called the Christmas Stocking Collection by Michelle Hunter, who is the Knit Pearl Hunter. That's like her designer name. Anyway, there's 6 different designs. You can choose a Christmas tree, like I have here. You can choose a snowman, you can choose an angel, you can choose a snowflake, a reindeer, or a truck for this top motif. And then the bottom motif for each, top motif is different. So each of the 6 design choices have their own, basically after the foot, the leg of the stocking is unique to that specific design of the 6 designs. However, my aunt said she wanted a snowflake on the bottom and a Christmas tree on the top, which is not something that exists in combination in that set of 6. So I had to do some math. I had to do some finagling and some modifying to make sure I could fit the snowflake motif with the Christmas tree motif and still fit in the amount of rows allotted for the leg. So I did that, and now I just need to knit the top portion that has the baby's name at the top, and then I need to duplicate stitch some red ornaments on the Christmas tree and in these little bobble spaces, and then I need to duplicate stitch the star on the Christmas tree as well. So that'll be finished before next week because I'm going to mail it on Tuesday. Yes. So that's the story there. Christmas stocking update. I'm very happy with that. That's a fun project. I use Cascade 220 in the colors white, Christmas red heather, and Shire, and I think they go really well together. That's what I've always used when I've made these stockings, and I've made many, many, many of them, and it's just fun. Each stocking takes about half a ball of each color, so you can get 2 stockings out of those 3 balls of yarn. And it's just fun. I definitely recommend that pattern. I've made it so many times and it's very enjoyable to knit. So check it out. Christmas Stocking Collection from Michelle Hunter. It's on Ravelry. Okay, the fourth and final project that I'm going to show you today, super exciting and still my favorite. This is why I haven't worked on the alchemy or my Yorlin, or I didn't make much progress on Shoop, or whatever other projects are on my periphery, because this project that I'm about to show you has bewitched me, body and soul. And it is, dun da da da, my Felix cardigan. This is the Felix cardigan by Amy Christoffers, and a little bit of backstory if you weren't here last week. I decided that I was going to start a Gilmore Girl rewatch. Inspired by Jackie of Jackie is Making. Every September 1st, she starts a rewatch, and I really liked that idea. So I started a rewatch, and I decided I would have a Gilmore Girls rewatch specific project. So I have only worked on this Felix cardigan while watching Gilmore Girls. I haven't picked it up any other time. The only progress that's made on this project is with the Gilmores on. Let me tell you, it's an interesting experience because every time I watch this show, it's like there's something new I notice, there's something different that I enjoy, and there's also things that I'm like, wow, I never thought of this character this way, but I don't really, yikes. Like, for instance, Lorelai is horrifying me during this rewatch. I have a lot of empathy for her and a lot of respect for her as a character, but also I wish I could shake her sometimes and be like, listen, this is not how you handle these situations. But she's going to do what she's going to do. So, anyway, I just finished episode 3 of season 2. So, let me show you how far you can get, presumably, if we knit at the same pace, on a project within what is it? There's 21 episodes in season 1, so if I just finished season 2, episode 3, we're on 24 episodes here. So I have finished the body. I have finished one double knit button band. I cannot recommend doing a double knit button band on the Felix cardigan enough. It makes it look so professional, so good, so sleek. You've got to try it. I'm following the directions basically for the Midland cardigan button band, same number of stitches, same instructions for the buttonhole. The only difference is since the Midland cardigan is a V-neck, you do the button band all the way around the front side, the neck, the back of the neck, the front side of the other side of the neck, the other side. You do it all in one go. Whereas for a cardigan that's a round neck, you do a button band on one side and yeah, that's what you do. And then you do a separate button band on the other side. So what that means logistically is for this side of the for this side of the button band, the left-hand side, I picked up stitches, or I cast on stitches here at the top, and I knit down for the button band. That's the direction of your knitting. And then for the right side of the button band, I cast on my double knitting stitches at the bottom, and then I knit up. That's the direction of the knitting for the right side. So just a little point of order, little difference between a V-neck button band or a V-neck double knit button band and a round neck double knit button band. Okay, so like I said, let's circle back and sum up. Within the span of 23 episodes that are like, I don't know, 48 to 44 to 60 minutes long, depending, I don't know. I have finished the entire body of the cardigan. I finished an entire one side of the button band, and I'm almost done with the second button band. I've finished all of the buttonholes, the final buttonholes right here, and I just have this much left of the button band. So once that's done, all that's going to remain is the collar and the sleeves. So I am confident that I'll be able to finish this cardigan before the end of season 2. Now, I don't know what my next rewatch project will be because I'm not going to stop watching just because I finished my rewatch project. I'm going to keep watching and I want to keep knitting things exclusively during my rewatch. So I'm thinking I'll do something small next, like a hat. Maybe the classic ribbed hat because I'm just on one with that pattern. Maybe something else. Maybe I'll try the weekend hat again, the cabled one that I tried to make earlier in the summer but was way too small for me, so I gave to Leslie. Um, yeah, but super happy with this. This is like my bread and butter project right now. It's making me so happy. I love how quickly it's working up. I really just can't recommend this pattern enough. There are some things I don't like about it format wise, and there are some things that I think maybe have been copy and pasted from the pullover version of the pattern. Like for instance, it tells you to put a beginning of round marker right underneath the uh armhole, and like why are you telling me to do that on a knit flat cardigan? Anyway, just like things like that, they don't matter in the grand scheme of things, but I'm like, I don't know, maybe I'm just sensitive after Shoop. Like I would like some more attention to detail, whatever. Anyway, it's a great pattern. This is the second time I've made it and it just works up so quickly. The fabric is a dream. It's knit on size US 10 needles, so the gauge is relatively large, but because it's knit with a single strand of DK weight and a single strand of lace weight, like a fuzzy lace weight in my case, it's not open and airy, but it's not dense. Like it's still, I don't know. It's still significant. Like it's a garment, you can feel it. It'd be a great layering piece and it's warm, but you don't feel trapped in it, if that makes sense. I really love how this fabric knits up. So there's an update on my Felix cardigan. This is not the most beautiful modeling job, I realize, but you just have to trust the process. Once I have the button band done, and the collar done. Oh, it's going to look so good. So next week, hopefully I will have those two things done at least. It would be amazing if I had the entire thing done, but no promises. We'll see what happens. Um, as for buttons, I'm not sure what buttons I'll use. I'm not sure. I have a ton of buttons from an estate sale that I went to, like hundreds of them, and they're all the same. They're like this faux warm-toned mother of pearl. And I also have a bunch of buttons that I got at a button shop in Paris. So maybe I'll go through those and see if any speak to me. But I haven't really thought through buttons just yet. So I'll keep you posted and stay tuned next week for an update on this cardigan. Also, Lorelai and Max never should have been anything. My goodness, what a mess those two are. Anyway, that's it for project updates. Those are all the projects that I've been working on, and it's just been a joy to be a maker in recent memory because my mental health has not been great for a lot of reasons, but I think most viscerally because of current events. And I just feel like I'm trapped in this loop of like a constant barrage of horrible things. And it has been, I don't know, difficult in this season of life to navigate that. Um, so anyway, knitting and spinning and crocheting has really, really been a safe haven for me and a solace for me. Not saying that we should use those things to ignore the world around us or, anything like that. But I don't know, in these increasingly tense times, I'm just so grateful to have these skills because they're huge boons to my mental health. Huge. It cannot be overstated. So the Felix cardigan has really been lifting my mood. The other projects I've been working on great helps to my mental health. Amazing, amazing. I'm sure you know this as well as a maker. I'm assuming you're a maker, or you know a maker, or you know me and care about me, and that's why you're watching. But certainly, I hope that you have something, if not knitting, crocheting, spinning, etc., to boost your mood and to give you something productive and joyful to do with your body when it's so easy to let our bodies just hold on to all of this uh, tension around us. Okay, so there you go. Thankful for my knitting. Now let's move to Spin Diary. I've been spinning up a storm over the course of this last week, and I wouldn't change a thing. Last week I showed you my poppy spin. A lot of you had opinions about me leaving some leftovers of the poppy spin on my bobbin. And listen, you're entitled to think and feel whatever you think, but ultimately that's the choice I made, and you gotta live with it. I know that sucks. I know that's hard, but the leftover poppy fiber is still on my bobbin, by the way. I'm so sorry. There it is, but that's not what we're here to talk about. We're here to talk about the spinning that I did over the course of this last week. So, here they are. I have two complete skeins, and actually, I have a bobbin of a halfway complete spin. This is the Yarn Jam Shanico that I got at Flock in the colorway Fall Patina. But I'll tell you about that after I tell you about these two skeins. So here I have what is this called? The Ferns of the Axe. This is a braid of 100% Blueface Leicester from Pigment and Ply. By the way, do you want to know one of the embarrassing moments in my life that I think about regularly, particularly whenever I see Blueface Leicester on a label? I think of the time when I was in one of my first grad school classes in England, and my professor asked me to read something out loud, and it had the word Leicester in it. And guess what I didn't pronounce correctly? The word Leicester, because it doesn't look like Leicester phonetically to me, because I wasn't used to how certain things are pronounced in the UK at the time, and I said Leicester, and it was a whole thing, and then it replays behind my eyelids sometimes when I try to fall asleep. Anyway, Blueface Leicester, it was a joy to spin. I love the purples and the greens and this depth of color and tone. Is it a depth of tone or is it all the same tone? I don't really understand color speak, but I really like this skein. I just love it. I think it turned out better than my wildest dreams. I will definitely knit something for myself with this. I don't know what yet. Maybe a hat, maybe a scarf, maybe it will be in a brioche hat. This would be really nice in the Harlow Flip by Andrea Mowry. That's been on my to make list for a while. So that's an option. And then after I spun this, I spun the next braid of Pigment and Ply that I got at Flock. This one is called Wildred. So I don't know what these are in reference to. I don't know if they're from the same collection or what, but I also like this one a lot. This one is going to be a gift though, and I'm not going to say much more about it. Uh, I don't know. It's hard to keep secrets. I am actually very bad at keeping secrets, and I personally hate it. So we might move on quickly. So I don't stress myself out. But I will tell you a little bit about this. So when I finished spinning Ferns of the Axe, I still had some fiber from this spin, some single, on one of the bobbins. And so I just started this spin using that same bobbin. And then when it came time to ply the two bobbins with Wildred, I had some of Ferns of the Axe get plied up together, which you can see actually, like this flash of green right here. That is something that's plied with the leftovers of Ferns of the Axe. And I don't know if I can find more. Like right here, this brighter green, that's also Ferns of the Axe in there. So anyway, that was an experiment, and it is what it is. It turned out. I don't think it clashes with the rest of Wildred, but you can definitely distinguish where that is. This is a really beautiful fall and autumnal skein, and I'm really, really happy with how it turned out, and I'm just so excited to be able to add this to my gift pile as well. So super exciting. 2 skeins of yarn spun up this last week. Okay, now let me show you my yarn jam spin a little bit more in depth. So like I said, this is the Fall Patina colorway, and I purchased this at the La Mercerie booth at Flock. This is Yarn Jam, the brand Yarn Jam, and the fiber is 100% Shanico, which I love. And I was really excited to try Yarn Jam's Shanico, and it has not been disappointing. It's been fabulous to spin. It drafts so easily and so smoothly, and it's not difficult to spin evenly with this fiber. It's just a pleasure from start to finish. So I have this bobbin done. I have my second bobbin maybe halfway done. I have several of these little nests of fiber to work through, and I'll probably do that today while I listen to an audiobook. Um, but just really, really lovely to work with. And I'm really proud of myself because between that yarn jam braid currently on my wheel and these 2 braids from Pigment and Ply, I'm really making a dent in the fiber that I purchased at Flock. I have still a good amount left over that I haven't spun through. In fact, let me show you what I have left. I have this braid from Red Door Fiber Studio, which is 100% non-superwash Australian merino. So that's 1 braid left. I have 2 bats of Alice, bats from Jess's Flock, Witchfire Fiber. In an earlier podcast, when I was talking about Poppy, I said I had Charlie's fleece, but I don't have any of Charlie. I have Alice's fleece. So I have 2 bats of Alice. I have an art bat and this most beautiful, stunning Stellina braid from 316 Dye Studio. I have a braid of fiber from Lauren of Little Fiber Co. Listen, when I first started this parade of showing you the fiber I still have left over from Flock, I thought, wow, this is so impressive. I'm almost through it all. And now that I'm holding it all and I'm almost at capacity of what I can hold in my hand, I'm thinking, that is not impressive at all. I still have a buttload to work through. Whatever, life goes on. 2 more to show you. I have this Shanico braid from Cesium Yarn, and I have this Egyptian cotton from Tumalo Fiber. So I still have a lot of fiber that I purchased at Flock, but I'm certainly making a really good dent in it because I've done these 2 skeins. I have my skein of Poppy. I have my um, green Australian merino braid from Red Door Fiber Studio, and then my yarn jam braid almost done. So once that's complete, I'll have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 completed spins from the fiber I purchased at Flock. So that plus Shoop, I have really had a really successful jump start on getting through this fiber. That's very exciting to me. In a perfect world, I would spin through all the fiber at Flock because I would love to take a group picture of all of my finished spins before the holidays come and some of my spins are dispersed to my loved ones. Spoiler alert, I am trying to gift some homemade yarn this year. We'll see if it happens. Um, yeah, so I would love to be able to do that. But as we know, life doesn't always go how we would like it to go. And if it doesn't happen, that's okay, but I would like for it to happen. Yes. Okay, so that's it for Spin Diary. Other than to say, just like with knitting, spinning is so good for my mental health. So good because I have to literally untangle myself in order to look at my phone or check my email or I don't know, do literally anything. I am literally tied up. I have to consciously disentangle myself in order to engage with the things that upset me. So it's easier not to engage with the things that upset me, which is super helpful to have those spaces that are safe for my mental load to relax. Anyway, whatever. No, not anyway, whatever. This is true, and I'm going to say it. Spinning is great for my mental health, and it might be great for yours, so you might think about giving it a try. Okay? Okay. All right. Let's go to acquisitions. I have one acquisition. Let me get up and grab it because I forgot to bring it over here. Oh, every week I try to make sure I remember to gather everything about my person, and every week I fail. Anyway, I'll be right back. Behold, here it is. It's a yarn holder, and I got it from an account on Instagram called Spring Fantasy, and they messaged me and said, "Hey, do you want to try our yarn holders?" And I was like, "Yeah." And they were like, "What color do you want?" And I said, "Purple, of course." And they sent it to me. It's this 3D printed thing. It kind of looks like it reminds me of if a CD was a record player. I don't know. I just think it's cute. So it's kind of a cool design. Basically, you've got this flat surface with this cute little bow on it. And then it comes with this, um, what would you call it? Tire? That's not it. But anyway, you can take it out of this slot, which it's secure in because there's a magnet at the top. And then you twist it on. There you go. And you put your yarn cake on, and there you go. It spins around. It also has these grippy things on the bottom. So I'm pretty sure if I put it on like a table or my desk while I'm using this, that it will stay put. But I haven't tested it out yet. I'll let you know when I do. But thank you to Spring Fantasy for sending this to me. Very sweet and welcome gift. But that's the only acquisition I have. I have more acquisitions coming today, but I just didn't want to wait to do the podcast until after they came because sometimes the mail comes late and I want to get this done so I can go finish my spin. You see? You see how that works? So that's the only acquisition I have today. And then let's see. What else do I have to tell you? Announcements, the final section of the podcast. Announcements, same as always. Come with me on a knitting tour. You know you want to. I know you want to. You know you want to. We both know you want to. So come. It's as simple as that. I have 2 knitting tours currently open for signups that have room. The first is the Knit the Wild Atlantic Way tour. This takes place from May 11th through 20th. We start in Dublin, we go up to Northern Ireland, we poke around all up there, and then we come back to Dublin, go home. It's going to be fabulous. DJ's coming on that trip with me. I'm very excited. And I'm just so looking forward to continuing to explore this beautiful country that I love, and then adding another one, Northern Ireland and Ireland, 2 separate places. You must know this, of course. But exploring the whole of the island that is Ireland, the Emerald Isle, is going to be really, really satisfying. And I'm very much looking forward to it, particularly a few things. Giant's Causeway, going to a sheep farm where we get to do a shepherding demonstration, going to an alpaca farm, going to Crafts of Ireland, staying in a castle. It's going to be a whole thing. Very excited. The second tour that I have open for signups is the Irish Knitting Tour. You've heard me say this a million times. This is my favorite. This one's my baby. I love it. This will be the 4th time that I've hosted this tour, so all the kinks are worked out. It's perfection. It's beautiful. It's lovely. It's Ireland in the fall. Autumnal bliss. Are you sick of sweating or what? I'm sick of sweating. It is mid-September, and it's in the 90s where I live, and I'm just frankly not interested in that. I am interested in crisp autumnal air in the 50s, in the 60s, in the 40s. That would be a real treat. So I'm very much looking forward to that. I cannot wait, and I would love for you to join me. I'm going on that trip in a few weeks. I will be in Ireland in a few weeks experiencing it, and you'll get to follow along and enjoy and watch and see what it's like. So that might be what puts you over the edge to sign up for the fall 2026 tour. I hope so. But don't wait too long because you don't want to miss out and not have a spot as they fill. So there you go. Oh, I should also say that one in the fall takes place from October 5th through 14th. I almost said Ireland 5th, but that's not how time works. October 5th through 14th, 2026. It's going to be fabulous, and you should be there. And that's final. That's all I've got for the podcast today. I'm so grateful that you're here and that you watch and that you support me and are invested in me and the things I'm making and my feelings about them. It really means a lot to me and I appreciate you. I hope you know that. But yeah, that's all I have to say for the podcast. I hope that you're doing well. I hope that you're working on something that's bringing you joy. And if you're not, remember, put it down, work on something else. It's okay to take breaks and pursue your joy. We need more joy. I know I do. Thank goodness for crafting and thank goodness for this community here on YouTube. So thanks for being part of it. And I hope that you're doing well. Okay, bye.